Hey Alpha fam, let's do a quick market update. Before we begin, I do want to say that nothing in this video is financial advice. Everything is for educational purposes only. This is just my own analysis on the market. Also, if you're new to this channel, if you can please like, comment, and subscribe, we really do appreciate all of this support. Now let's get into the market, guys. So yesterday was weird. I made a video before the US market opened, all right? And what's happening with the US market and what I'm noticing right now is, I've been saying this for months now, this market is basically pricing in events really fast and really early, all right? It used to be like a couple days before an event would happen, that's when you would see the fluctuation, but actually what's occurring now is we're seeing this stuff happen way more fast and a lot more rapid. With that, yesterday we did get this push down. We talked yesterday before I made this video. I honestly thought Bitcoin was making a bull flag right here, but again, this is why these things are not 100% probable to break to the upside. You're dealing with a set of probabilities. These things don't always work. And this is a great example of how macro will throw technical analysis out the window. If you ignore what's going on in a macroeconomic scene, if you don't understand what's going on around the world, it doesn't matter how much TA you know. All right, guys, it's going to go out the window. You have to keep up with this. So what actually caused this? I think the move happened because the Bank of Japan next week is going to be raising interest rates. So if you come over here, this got released yesterday. All right. This is the Nikkei, I think is how you say it. This is basically one of the indices of Japan. All right. So the Bank of Japan is set to raise interest rates for the first time in 11 months. All right. So one thing I noticed yesterday too was this. Where is it? Oh, I might have gotten rid of it. The Bank of Japan. So if you come up here, you can do Japan 10-year, and then you got these right here. These are your 10-year treasury bonds. And this is what I noticed yesterday was this thing actually moved up again. So we actually were getting, I thought this thing had made like kind of like a local peak and then started kind of giving us some relief. And I was like, okay, well, maybe they're not going to raise it. Maybe there's some information being spread that it's not going to be raised so that the bonds are coming down. Nope, they made that, and then this thing shot up. So with that being said, I think what's happened is this event's been priced in now, which is honestly not a bad thing. Let's get it priced in. Let's get it done. We've had this is basically the week of the FOMC, which is totally on realm of what we do every single FOMC, which is dump a few days afterwards. Find a local bottom right here, made another higher low. Now it's time to start moving back up. And then what I think is going to happen is even next week when this thing actually gets released, it's not going to be as destructive as it was because it already got priced in. Just like how rate cuts get priced in to buy the rumor, sell the news. Same thing happens for really negative macro news, guys. These things get priced in very early. And then when the event actually happens, it's not as destructive as it usually would be. And then we can also see, we just coming back over here, it was actually, when we come over here, the 25th of last year was when the Bank of Japan raised interest rates, was right here. Right here, the 25th or the 20th, it was right here. So we had a couple of days of pullback and then we were fine. All right. This was not the result of the Japan carry trade unraveling. This was the result of the tariffs. This was just another macro headwind that was a part of it. That was also during the time when DeepSeek came out. There was a lot of really bad FUD back then. So I don't think we have that much to worry about. But with that being said, I do want to see us start making a move back up. I think we have found a lot of support at this $88,000 to $90,000 region. Looking at this on the 4-hour, guys, you can see we've been doing this several times. All right. You can literally see how we've been doing this. We make these moves up and then they dump it right back down, move up, dump it right back down, and they're just doing this over and over. You can see they were doing it over here, they did it over here, they did it over here. It's just what these guys do to extract as much liquidity as possible, and your job is to understand this and not get caught up inside of that chop. All right, looking at traditional markets, we had the same thing happen yesterday. We had TradFi had a pretty nasty day yesterday, guys. You can see it did a bullish retest on the 4-hour. This thing went down almost 2%. We had the S&P 500 did something very similar. We had the futures do something very similar. All of them did. Again, guys, I think this is short-lived. I think this event's pretty much been priced in at this point, and we should start to move back up. Looking at this looks really good to me. This is Ethereum versus Bitcoin, guys. You can see we broke out of this descending wedge pattern. And then you got right here, we broke above the 50. We've come back down, found bullish we did a bullish retest, found support. I think we should see this thing continue to move up. We got Also, Bitcoin dominance did another bearish retest. I'd really like to see this thing start to come down a little bit from this level. You can see bearish retest, bearish retest, bearish retest. We have been holding below the 50 since basically the 14th of November. So basically a month now. This looks pretty good. It's about time for it to drop down. We have USDT dominance. We need to see this thing come down, guys. I've been saying it. It's been finding resistance at this level, but we need it to break below because it's been finding support down here. We need it to get really, I'm targeting this thing to come below the 50, retest, bearish retest, this thing start curving over. That would be kind of the picture perfect scenario for USDT dominance right now. We definitely need some relief on that. I don't want to see it go any higher, guys. It's like already at a place that I don't want to see it go any higher. We also had a big day on the VIX yesterday, guys. It did a bearish retest on the 50. You can see we had a bit of volatility yesterday. We also have the Dixie, guys, which is still below the 50. It is still well below it. I think we'll still continue to see some relief on this. Again, we would expect as this 50 comes down, this thing to do a bearish retest and then come down like that, guys. This would be the normal kind of setup for that. Now let's take a look. Is there anything else that I wanted to go over with you guys? Of course, gold. Gold's been making another run up, guys. And I think what we've seen, and you can see it, it's really struggling to get above this level. And what I'm hoping for is we get a rejection. So basically this was its second run up. This was like its relief rally, couldn't make a new all-time high. And then we get some relief and this thing starts to drop down. I really want to see the gold trade unwind. Both gold and silver have been pumping this year. This has been obviously the year for precious metals. I mean, they have done really well, but it's kind of time to start seeing some of that come and unwind. And let's see some relief into the market, guys. With that being said, this is also a really good time for you to look at your bags and what you're holding and to see if you're holding the right stuff. If you're not holding, I'll give you an example. I hold Curve. Curve's up almost 2%. All right. Bitcoin is not really up. It's down barely, but it's also up 3-4 times the amount that Ethereum is. This is how I know that I'm holding the right stuff. If you're not holding things that are greatly outperforming and bouncing harder than the rest of the assets are, then what you need to do is you need to go in, get a list of the best performers, do some research, and maybe, it's not financial advice, but maybe look at, moving things around a little bit inside of your portfolio so you have a portfolio with strength. Because when the bullish momentum comes back, if you're holding a portfolio of strength, you're going to greatly outperform the market as that bullish momentum and as that move goes up and happens. I'm not saying this is going to be something that's going to happen next week. I'm just saying we will, in fact, go through another bullish move. And you want to make sure before that happens, you're holding all quality tokens and that anything that is lagging behind, you go ahead and I tell people, don't hold on to something if you're down on it, guys. That's a really bad tactic. If you're down on something, I'm a big believer, cut your losers fast and rotate that capital into winners. So that way, when the market does take back off to the upside, you're going to be in profit faster and you're going to make up that loss that you realized. Okay, guys? With that being said, guys, low liquidity weekend. I'll keep you guys notified. Again, if you're new to this channel, if you could please like, comment, and subscribe. I've been doing this for a while, guys. I've not only been doing this for a while, but I have also a Capital Club expert. I host the bi-weekly VCs. I just did one in there yesterday. I am trying to help as many of you guys as I possibly can learn what's actually happening in these markets so you guys quit blindly following these KOLs and these other people. Because, guys, this is the future of finance. Crypto is the #1 emerging market in the world. It's being adopted faster than the internet. It's being adopted faster than telephones. Every bank and institutions are adopting it, guys. Go look at what Larry Fink is talking about. Go watch BlackRock. It's a kind of a no-brainer. And if you want to understand this stuff at a deep level and you want to incorporate and understand the macro, the fundamentals, the technical analysis, well, we've got a solution. Click the link below. We'll see you inside.